nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big John and G, the two gut Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. What's up, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me here this Midday Monologue Monday, whatever day of the week it is that you're watching this. Thank you very much for watching, for subscribing, for being here and joining us in this verbal journey that we're going to be taking. So I want to discuss something today that a few years ago wouldn't even have been a thought to me, actually. It's something that never really was an incorporated part of my tabletop adventure experience. But over the last several years, it has become a part of it. And so where I stand now is different than where I was 4 years ago, that's for sure. And I just wanted to bring this discussion here with you, see what all of you think, and kind of explore what I think a little bit. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for being part of this. And why don't we just get right down to the table and discuss dressing your table. Specifically, tablecloth or mat. Or nothing, or maybe terrain, who knows? That's what we're here to discuss. All right, everyone, so I will see you down at the proverbial table in a moment. So yeah, I mean, going back as far as I can remember, board games were just something that you put on the table. You know, when I was a little kid, and pretty much I'm sure the same with most individuals. You know, you start playing, at least here in the States, you start playing games like Chutes and Ladders and Candyland, and it's just a board on a table. That's all. Maybe on the floor, right? And you play the game. But then as you move on, as you graduate to different games, more complex games, or just, like I said, different games, you start realizing things like Dungeons and Dragons. You have tiles, you have terrain, and you can build up on top of your table or the floor or wherever you're playing it on, and make it so visually appealing. And then there are other games, I think that particularly come in handy, like card-based games, but there's other games where you discover that they may separately sell a mat for, which not only has a great illustration, but also shows the exact placement of where everything goes. And you also get a sense of how much room on the table it's going to take. Those are all really great, and you advance into this, I believe, from the more... And I'm sorry if you think this sounds insulting, because it's not meant that way, but from the more basic games, this is what develops. And that's exactly what I see has happened with myself over the years. Now, I was well aware of playmats for games for a long time, but they didn't really interest me. I came close. I saw a playmat for Sentinels of the Universe, and I came really close to getting that. But I didn't. There was a mat that I got, a tavern map, and the main reason that I allowed myself to spend the money on this a few years back was that I was told that it was sized perfectly for Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. And when I got it home and I got it on the table, it was too small. It's not quite... I feel stupid now. Was it? It wasn't quite 32 inches, a 32 millimeter setup. It was probably more like a 28. In D&D miniature terms, it was the squares were perfectly sized for small size creatures on a miniature. Like halflings, gnomes. They were perfect for it. But humans were too big per square. That really upset me. And I kept the mat basically just to use for other games. Like if I'm going to be playing, like Red Dragon Inn, a tavern mat. Hey, why not? Use that, put that down. But it doesn't get a lot of use from me. With me personally, it really wasn't, as many of my regular viewers and friends here have surmised over the last several months. With me, the whole playmat thing really exploded with the Marvel Champions card game. That's when I started kind of really getting into it. And the term I always use, you're probably sick and tired of hearing it, or maybe you've turned it into a drinking game, who knows, when I talk about Marvel Champions, but it's the sense of completionist overcame me with that game. And I wanted a mat to play it on. And I ended up getting my two favorites to begin with, Doctor Strange and the Hulk. And after they were acquired into the collection, I realized how cool it looked to be able to see this awesome picture on this mat. This well colored. Everything about these mats are great to look at. And I really fell for that, to the point where on Kickstarter, when I was backing Tiny Epic Pirates, I decided to grab one mat as an add-on. And at this point, I'm upset. I should have grabbed two, because you can't really use the mat for the one-player games, because the one-player game, which is awesome. I love that most of the Tiny Epic games does this, but the one-player game is slightly different than the multiplayer game. So, and that shows through on the mat a little bit. So I think we're going to have to break down and get at least one more, ideally three more, for that game. But I learned my lesson through that. Now, so to me, now I also use, again, you've watched my videos before, especially the playthroughs or the slideshow videos or the unboxings, right? More than any of the others, you'll see that I have a lot of different tablecloths, or tabletops that I use, and I have them all to generate a sense of a bit of a thematic immersion. If I'm playing a game at sea, I'm going to use my waves, tablecloth. If I'm going to be playing inside a dungeon, I have this kind of cool, I think it's cool, like old school style cobblestone wall or road, which I could use. I have a couple of different foresty ones. I got a sand one, but that's gotten really faded. And I got a Kickstarter game that's going to be coming. It got delayed. Since the last time I talked to you, it got delayed. So now we're looking at the beginning of 2022, maybe, first quarter. And that's Arceus. Am I saying that right? Well, that is a steampunk 1930s style mummy Egyptian style game. So I'm gonna have to get a new sand. I already spotted the one I'm gonna get. I've been saving up for it. It's like $30. I want to get that, and it looks really nice with the sand designs on it and everything. And I really enjoy doing it. I really enjoy having the different tablecloths available to me. I got the onomatopoeia one. Onomatopoeia, pow, wham, zap, for my comic book ones. I haven't had to use it a lot, but I do have one specifically for DC Comics and Batman. So it does. It really, I feel, helps bring a certain deeper sense to the game you're playing when there's an appropriate table cover down underneath the board and cards and where you're rolling the dice. It adds a little bit of a flavor to it, and I think that's great. I think everyone should do or as many of the little things at least that they can do to try to up the experience. And now, so of course with Marvel, I double it up, right? I use my onomatopoeia tablecloth, and on top of that, I have the hero mats. So that kind of doubles up on the effect a little bit. Even when I'm looking off the map, then I'm still seeing all these cool comic booky designs off the mat. So I like that. And I've never done this, and I think I really haven't done this because of the time that it's going to add to setup, but I have always wanted to use more of my dungeon tiles or my sci-fi tiles when playing a sci-fi or fantasy board game, like maybe a Descent or Imperial Assault, things like that. Instead of using the cardboard layouts, or even a combination of them in order to get the walls and the side effects going and everything. Wow, that'd be also perfect using my cavern tiles and terrains for Shadows Over Brimstone. These are all great ideas, but they would add on so much time for my setup and my dismantling of the game that I've just never actually done it. But that doesn't mean that it's not a good idea. I think it's an amazing idea. It really, again, it would add an even deeper level now to the visual side of your game playing, and it'll just take that aspect of your senses and really just completely immerse it. So I haven't done that yet, but that is actually another option. So tablecloths, tabletops, right, or player mats, or even 3D tile terrain kind of stuff. There are so many great ways that you can very simply to moderately upgrade your gaming table during your board game tabletop adventure experience. And like I said, these are things that I never did back in the old days. These are things I only started doing maybe 5 years ago. That's it. That's when I really started wanting to up my game a little bit. So is there anything you do? Or like I said, the terrain combination thing is something I want to do, but I've never done. Is there something you've wanted to do but didn't do? And what do you have? What kind of tablecloths, if anything, do you have and you use? And do you feel that it adds on to your experience? And if you have something nice that you want to use, let us know. Put it in the comments. Say, I got this great tablecloth that looks like this, and it's perfect for these style games. Maybe you have a volcanic one, and that's perfect for one of your apocalyptic games. Yeah, who knows? Tell us. It'd be really great. So thank you very much, and let's fix our tables up. Let's make things look a little bit better. Let's go that little extra percent. Our amps can go to 11, can't they? They sure can. All right, thank you very much for listening to me. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here.